Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo IdeaPad Flex-15IWL. So we're going to be using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver, and we're going to remove all the screws from the bottom. Alright, you want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. I do that by putting the flat side down like that. In the pattern, I remove it. Alright, so we got 3 going along the top. Alright, just like this. Oops, I flipped one of the screws upside down. Alright, then we got, 3 on the top, then we got 3 in the middle, then we got 4 at the bottom. Alright, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. These are customer computers, so keep that in mind. I don't actually own these devices, so by the time you see this video, I likely won't have it. Alright, so the problem with this laptop is the fan is actually making noises and it's not spinning smoothly, so we're going to try and get to the fan to repair it. One of these screw mounts are broken, so when I turn it, the screw doesn't actually come out. So we're going to have to see how we're going to get this out. You see, sometimes you can kind of push it a certain way. Okay, that actually is working. So hopefully we'll see if we can fix that as well. Okay, so we got all those screws out. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to now separate the 2 layers. So if you look inside, you have a gap here from the base with the palm rest. So the way I open that up is I get my fingernails in the gap and then I'll press with my thumb on the back here. Alright, so just like this. I'm going to close it up, but we go like that, and here you can see the cover pops open pretty easily. We're going to go around the sides as well. Okay, same thing, and then just push with your thumbs and pull with your fingernails. You can use plastic pry tools, but I find that this works the best. Alright, so same thing, go around here and continue going. Alright, so now that we got the front and the sides, let's see if we can pop this up or if we have to do something with the back. Alright, so the back here is stuck still. Okay, so we're going to have to go around here and same thing, just work our way around, get your fingernails in the gaps, and then see if we can pop this out. Let's see here. Okay, can we pop this out? And yes, we can. Okay, we're just going to go all the way around. Alright, and there we go. We got the entire thing out. You can see, alright. It's a little bit dusty, so I'm probably going to have to wait till morning to clean the dust out of here. But I kind of just wanted to show. Alright, let's see here. So the fan was making like some buzzing sound. Here you can see the wireless card here. Let me actually zoom in a bit and see if I can show this closer for you guys. Okay, I guess it's going to be blurry, so I'm just going to hold it closer. So here's the wireless card. Wireless antennas are hidden under here. There's some adhesive, so I don't want to peel it all up. And 1 screw under here, most likely a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver or screw. You got an M.2. It doesn't say here. Oh, it is PCIe NVMe. So this is a PCIe NVMe SSD. What's that? 128 gig. You can upgrade it with a full length SSD, but you'd get rid of this metal bracket. Alright, I'm pretty sure there's a PH1 or JS1 screw under here. If it doesn't work, you might have to use a PH0 or JS0. Alright, and then for the RAM, we got this metal cover here. I just get underneath an edge with my fingernail if I can. Let me see. You can also use a plastic pry tool or something, but get underneath a corner. And you can see we can lift it up just like that. Okay, then pull this cover out. Here you can see 1 stick of RAM. Pull these 2 tabs away from the stick of RAM to the sides. Then the stick pops up. You can go ahead and pull this out. And here we have 4 gigabyte PC4 2666V. Alright, so that's what you want to use. You can upgrade to any PC4 2666V stick. So if you want, you can get a 16 gig stick. But yeah, alright, let's go ahead and click that back in, and then we'll get this cover back on. Make sure you line up the little clips that hold it in place. Okay. All right, there's a slot for a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive here. Let me actually zoom out a bit because I can't move the thing over too far. All right, so there's 4 screws holding this. Then you can slide this back and lift it out. There are 4 screws here holding that. I don't think there's a hard drive in here right now. I don't want to pull it out, but yep, there's no hard drive in there right now. So you can get a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. You can put a SATA SSD in there. All right. You got the speaker connector here. Both wires connect, or both speakers connect to this one spot. Wires go down. One speaker here, and then the other one goes all the way over here. All right. I don't know why this speaker is kind of coming out. It's not held in with screws. It's just held in with these little rubber pieces over these posts. All right. You got the battery here. This has a like connector that you kind of just wiggle to pull it out. We'll see if we have to take it out, but we're just going to be working on the fan, so we'll see. Here you can see the speaker or the battery model number, L18M3PF7. Okay. All of these things are pretty easy to remove. Just take the screws out. If you can't figure it out, I don't know. I mean, just you should be able to figure it out. So actually, there's one more screw up here, so 3 screws. And then there might be little latches. So this one, it like slides under here. So you kind of have to lift it slightly at an angle and then you can pull it out. Okay, these connectors, you kind of just wiggle as you pull and you can get it out. Let's see here. Touchpad connector here. Keyboard connector here. I don't know what this is. There's a keyboard backlight connector here for some models. I think that's for a fingerprint sensor. Does this have a fingerprint? I hear a cat outside making some weird noises. At least hopefully that's the outdoor cat and not my indoor cat. Oh yeah, okay, there's a fingerprint sensor on here, sorry. All right, then you got this connector here, going over here. Connects the 2 USB ports and the SD card slot, as well as these buttons here on the side. Let me see what those line up to here. So the power button. So there's the power button. There's also a 1-key recovery button. If you're wondering what this little arrow thing is, you can push that with a little needle or a pin. And then you can actually go to the boot options, the BIOS and all of that. So that's why there's 2 buttons here. Okay. BIOS, CMOS, RTC battery here, real-time clock battery, whatever you want to call it. Then you got the DC jack charge port here. You can take these screws out and you can lift the hinge up and then you can actually pull this charge port out, and this again you can just use the wings of the connector, kind of wiggle it to pull it out. Alright, so I think that's pretty much all that's in here. LCD, LVDS connectors here. If you're going to mess with this, disconnect the battery, then open up the laptop, press and hold the power button for 15 seconds before messing with that. Otherwise you could fry it. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can take the fan out with just 2 screws. All right, we're switching over to PH1 or JS1. Let me double check here. We're going to use this. Oh, so dusty. Oh, there you go. Listen to that. Oh my god, that's so weird. Okay, so that's the problem they were having. The fan is making that noise. And most likely these fans get screwed up from moisture. So if it's humid a lot, or can also be from smoke or fine dust. There was a lot of fine dust in here. So what it does is it gets into the grease of the fan and then it screws it up. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to disconnect the fan connector. So I'm just using my fingernails here and we're just going to kind of, let me zoom in a bit, and we're just going to kind of wiggle and wiggle and wiggle while we're pulling, and there you go. Connector comes out just like that. We're going to move that out of the way so that we can undo the screw here. Okay, got those 2 screws out. Hopefully I'm not going to have to undo the thermal paste or redo the thermal paste. Good, it looks like we don't have to, but we do have to, oops, let me zoom out here. So this fan actually can come out with just those 2 screws, which is nice. We are going to have to get this out of here. So let's go ahead and peel up this adhesive. Let's actually get some of the dust out of there. Okay. And peel that up, and now we can hopefully get the cable out from here. It's a little bit tricky. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Okay, we can slide this down, and then we can get this, and this is kind of caught here, so try and get this through. Okay, and this side, gotta kind of push the cable to thin it out a little, and there we go. Okay, and when you go to put this back, make sure you put it back right. You can actually see how this looks. Wow, that's a lot of dust in there. Okay, look at all of this. Wow. Okay, so over time the dust builds up because the fan sucks in air and then blows it against this. Okay, there's all this little fine powder dust here that we're gonna have to clean out. Again, I'm probably gonna take this out and do this in the morning, actually. Okay, actually, let me do this now. So I'm going to clean this up, and I'll be back, all right? And basically, what I do is I use a toothbrush, loosen the dust, and then I use a electric air blower and just blow all the dust away. And same thing with this. For this, what I do is I hold the fan a little, and then I kind of brush it, so that way the propellers can kind of turn, but not freely like this. So that way there's a little bit of pressure for the blades to kind of push against. There's somewhat of an odor, so I don't know if this customer vapes or it's their air freshener. I don't know. Smells somewhat sweet. Okay. I think it's from vape, but I'm not sure. I have some customers that I've asked them, and then they kind of say it's not, like they don't vape, so maybe it is an air freshener. I don't know. Air freshener or something, or some kind of perfume or some kind of lotion. I don't know where the smell's coming from, but usually when these fans have this problem, it's from some kind of humidity, moisture getting in there. So that's why I'm guessing it's from like vape or something. And basically what happens is that moisture gets into the part that has the grease to lubricate it, and it messes that up. Alright, so I'm going to do the brushing part now, and then I'm just going to blow it out when I go outside. Okay. Alright, just to loosen up that dust. I'm actually going to stick this down so the dust doesn't go underneath. Okay, so that way hopefully this will remain a bit sticky. Okay. Alright, so we're going to clean that up, and we did that on both sides of the fan. And then you just do the same thing on here, just brush that up, and then, yeah. So let me clean that out, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Alright, so I'm back. We cleaned this out, okay. A lot less dust inside. Cleaned out the fans, okay. Cleaned out this area as well. So there's still some really fine dust that's kind of stuck. So as you can see, that kind of fine dust still sticks on it, alright. And it still makes that sound, so we are going to have to cut these plastic pieces off, and hopefully we can separate the fan blades from there. Alright, so let's go ahead and set the computer aside for now. Alright, and we're going to see about repairing the fan. We're going to use a razor blade to do this, okay? Though if you have some kind of really sharp thin blade, you can use that as well. Alright, so we're going to cut these raised plastic bits from here. Okay, and then let's see if I can zoom in a bit. And then we should hopefully be able to separate the layers of the fan to repair it, okay? And we're not going to be able to replace these plastic things, so what we're going to do is instead we're going to use tape to hold the two layers together, okay? So we're going to cut that. We're going to cut this one. Alright, and if the fan isn't repairable, you can also replace it. So let's see here. Is there a fan? So here's the fan model number on the bottom. It's difficult to read. There you go. DFS2001059P0T. Right, so that's the model number. I don't think this number will be useful for anything, but if you need it, there you go. Actually, it's there, DC2800 something. 8000MZF0. I don't know, it's hard to read. Okay, I think those are zeros. No. Yeah, DC28000MZF0. Then I don't know what the FCC2 is for, but anyways, let's go ahead and continue cutting these plastic things off and see if we can repair it. So that one didn't cut off completely, so now we're going to cut from the opposite side, and hopefully that will get enough of it off that we can lift that out, right? Make sure, okay. All right, we cut this side as well. I think we have to cut from this side because there's this raised plastic here. Okay, so just cut like this. Right, and you kind of want to do a slicing motion, don't just push it through. Okay, we're going to cut this one as well. So we're going to basically slice this. Okay, the other option, I think if you have something, you can kind of melt the plastic, but I don't know how you melt them all, so it works easier to just cut it. All right, and cut this one. Be careful not to cut yourself while doing this. Okay. All right, I think we got them all out. Hopefully there's no plastic that's sticking out too far. So let's go ahead and see if we can now separate these. Okay, so what we do, yep, okay. There we go. You can see a ring of like the dust or something on it, or maybe it got scraped from something. So you can kind of clean that off. All right, I'm gonna clean this off. Basically use the toothbrush and brush that off into my trash can. So let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I cleaned off what I could. Let's see if we can pull the propellers off. And no, it's kind of stuck there. So let's go ahead and see if we can push it through from the bottom. So what you want to do is you want to try and aim for the centermost, because that's where the ring is the most solid. So if you can somehow push on the back there, then hopefully we can get the propeller blades out. So I'm going to try and push from the middle. And this one doesn't seem to want to come out, so I don't know if we're going to be able to repair this fan. We're likely going to have to replace it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to come out. It seems really solid. Okay, so, I mean, it does give some movement up and down. Like when we pull on it, I can actually feel it kind of grinding there. But I feel like if I try and pull too hard, it's going to just break these propellers. I'll try a little more. Let's see here. Come on. Don't break, please. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's going to come out. This propeller's really solid. Sometimes what you can do as well, if you peel this up, depending on the design, but I think this has metal underneath, so we're probably not going to be able to do it. But sometimes you can peel this plastic up here, and then underneath, yeah, see, it's metal, so we can't do that. Normally, if it's plastic, sometimes you can drill through that and then add grease there. I don't know if there's much of another option. I've had some people where they flood it with some kind of grease, and then it will hopefully like flow into there, but yeah, I don't think I want to try doing that for this one. Come on, it feels like it's somewhat coming out, but not really. Like you can hear it popping, but that's all it goes. So yeah, I don't know. That's all. It only pops out that much and then it just stops. So I think we're kind of stuck there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tell the customer that we have to order a replacement fan. Actually, right now it's spinning a lot better, but it's probably gonna go bad real soon after. Interesting. Sometimes the moving it up and down can cause like the new grease to kind of the grease that's not as bad to scrape out and get into place. So that might be a somewhat temporary fix, but usually it's not a good one. So as you can see, I can kind of pull the propellers up and down, and sometimes that cleans out the grease in there. It's actually getting easier to pull up and down, and that means it's kind of helping with the grease, but actually, maybe what's happening is the way the propeller kind of wobbles so much like this, and the way I see these scrapes here, it's likely that the plastic inside here is actually broken, and that's why it's probably like wobbling and hitting that, and that's what's making it to make the noise. Since I don't have this on there, then it's not scraping on it anymore. Let's see if I put this back on, is it gonna have that problem again? So yeah, I can hear a little bit of a noise. Let's see if I do it upside down. It's a lot better. I mean, I'm still gonna recommend they replace the fan, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing back on, and hopefully it'll at least help with some of the noise. So what we're gonna have to do now, we're gonna have to get some tape, and we're gonna wrap some tape over the edges to kind of hold that back in place. Okay, so let me get some tape here. We're just gonna cut some small thin strips of tape. Right. So what I'm gonna do, I'll take the tape here and I'll cut it this. Okay. And then what we'll do, we'll just cut little strips of tape off and we'll just wrap it over. Just like this. Got this little strip of tape. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna just stick the tape on the top here. Okay, stick that on, wrap it over, and just like that. All right, and we're gonna just do that in multiple places to help hold that in place. Okay, just so the two layers don't separate. All right, so sadly this one wasn't like one where you could kind of re-grease properly. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this tape back on there as well. All right, if you can get it close to those, that's good, but you don't have to. All right, this one has this big empty space of nothingness, so I'm gonna put like a bigger piece here. Okay, just wrap that over just like that. Okay, so I actually didn't even need so much tape. Okay, wrap some tape over this way and wrap that over. Alright, get some more tape. Wrap that over here. Okay, just like that. You can put as many pieces as you want all over the place. I'm just gonna put this here. Okay, since there's this huge flat piece here, I'm gonna just wrap this over like that. Oops, sorry. And this one we're gonna wrap over here, so this one will have a nice solid. All right, and now because they're all taped together, you can see we can't pull it apart. Okay, so let's go ahead and reassemble this thing, and we're most likely going to have to get a replacement fan for them. Okay, but maybe for now it'll be at least sufficient. We'll see. Okay, so we're gonna lift this adhesive part back up, get these back into there. Okay, get that back into there, shove that back into there. Man, this one's kind of tough to get. Try and pull the plastic back a little. There we go. Okay, this fan connector was going underneath. You don't technically have to put it back underneath. I'm going to actually leave it on top just because it makes it easier. Okay, get this all lined up again. And let's go ahead and get those screws back in. So there were 2 screws, one up here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to loosely fit that first so we can get the other screw in. Then get this screw. Alright, now that I got both, I'm going to kind of just pull it up towards the heatsink. I'm just pulling these 2 pieces together. Then we can go ahead and tighten that down. Make sure we're not damaging this cable, right? Is it? Okay, you can see it can move around. I don't want to smash the cable, so I'm actually going to pull it out from under there. I don't want it underneath to get smashed. All right, there we go. And then we'll get this screw in. Good. We can go ahead and push this tape back down. And then let's get this fan connector plugged back in. I'm going to power it up and see how it goes because I'm curious. I'm pretty sure the fan's going to need to be replaced though. All right, once we get that, just pinch the two together. All right, it's good, locked into place. All right, let's try spinning it by hand. And I do hear a little bit of like a grinding sound, but at least it's not doing that loud squeaky sound. So for now, I think that's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and put the cover back on. I'll let the customer decide what they want to do, though I'm pretty sure we're going to have to replace the fan. All right, I don't know how long this temporary fix will last. Oh, one other thing, because this is broken, I'm actually going to put some JB Weld there to hold it better. So let me actually, I'm going to clean around here. And we'll put some JB Weld in there. We only need a tiny bit. Okay, I don't know how that thing is broken like that, but alright, so we only need a little JB Weld around that. Probably gonna have to use some cling wrap or saran wrap to kind of just protect that. But let's go ahead and get some JB Weld. If you've seen my other videos, you'll know how the JB Weld works. It's a two-part epoxy. Just get a little bit of both. Probably going to end up making way too much. Well, okay, that's probably good. So get a little bit of the black one and a little bit of the white one. Then we just stir it all together. All right. Let's see here. I need some paper to clean that. Okay. Get a little bit of the white one. I'll show you what I'm doing in a bit. Actually, let me put this over here so you can see. Okay, so we just need a little bit of these two. It's probably too much of the white part. Okay. Alright, that's probably enough. Just need to get a slight bond there. We're going to see what the customer wants to do after we figure this out. Okay, and then I'm going to just clean that off. Alright, so now we got the JB Weld. We're going to stir the two pieces together. It's very little, so I don't know. Hopefully it will work. Just get it all mixed together real well. Looks to be about the right color, so I think we should be good. Okay. Pull all the pieces together. And then I'm just going to JB Weld that. Actually, let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. So this piece, the plastic around it is all broken off. So I'm going to basically be adding the JB Weld to fill in that missing plastic. Okay, so we're just going to get that in there. Bit around. Okay. Okay, and again, we are going to be using some saran wrap or plastic cling wrap to cover that so it doesn't stick to the other side while we let it set with this cover back in place. Okay, so we're just getting this all to hold that down. good. Alright, so that should be good. Clean that stuff off. Okay, so next what we're going to do, we're going to get a little bit of saran wrap. Okay, let me cut off a small piece here. Okay, we don't need too much. Cut like a small square here. Oops. Okay, cutting too much, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this over the top here. We can eventually peel it off later if we want. But stick that on, wrap that stuff around. All right, I'm gonna just poke a hole in it. That way the screw can go through. Okay, so poke a hole, hold that down, and poke a hole. Hopefully we can poke a hole in it. There we go. Okay, and hopefully the screw's not going to get the epoxy on it. All right, so let's go ahead now and put the bottom cover back on. Put this stuff away. All right, I'm going to put the JB Weld away. All right, so let's go ahead now and zoom back out and get the bottom cover back on here. Get this in place. Switch back to the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Put this into place back on top. So I don't think we're going to be able to tighten the screw yet because the JB Weld will be hardening. But let's go ahead and just clip all of this back down. We'll do what we can. All right, so we got that. Make sure everything is clipped in properly. If it's not, go around, make sure it's good. Okay, might have to do this with the screen open because we can't quite clip everything. All right, so we're gonna go ahead now and put the T5 Torx 5 screws back in, and that's pretty much it. If I have to replace the fan, I'll do that later. I'm not going to make a video of that because I already showed how to take the fan out and put it back in. But other than that, that's all there is to this. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But other than that, that's all there is to this. You're welcome to stay as I put back the rest of these screws. But yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and get all these screws back in. Alright. Hopefully we'll be able to get the other screw back in without it spinning around too much. And then it can set overnight. Get this other screw first. Alright, let's get this screw in. Come on, come on. Alright, looks like it's working for the most part. Alright, so we're not going to get a tight fit, but we'll leave that. And then hopefully it'll set overnight and then the screw will, what do you call it? I think it's brass, but hopefully that screw mount whatever thing will be tightened in place, and then we can go ahead and tighten this all the way and unscrew it. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.